Hi, I'm David from Luminous AI, and today I'm going to do a make.com build along where we can send out an automated Stripe invoice directly from Airtable. So if you join me on my second screen now, I'll show you exactly what we're going to do. So here we have this is just an example build that I've built out already. Pretty simple. So we have name, address, email address, the total amount for their invoice, status, date created, but not really interested in at the moment. The name of the item, which is a link to invoices. We'll get to that page next. A unique ID, which is just auto number. Then these things here, you can see we have invoice and invoice URL, which are not propagated for any of the other items. So we can actually mark this one, we'll leave as is. So the linked items are, here we are. We just have an invoice item, a description, image, quantity, the item price, and then we've had to do a function here because of Stripe's functionality. We need to do the price in cents. So price in cents is basically a formula of quantity multiplied by the item price times 100. So if you see here, it's $155. It's 15,500 cents. So that's the thing. If I click, let's just make sure our make is running. Okay, so if we move this to in progress, but okay, it's ready. Let's say we've added our invoice items ready to bill. You'll see now we send a webhook to Airtable, from Airtable, boom, 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 boom. So we're searching for our record, creating our invoice. Okay. So if I return to Airtable now, we have customized invoice. There we are, dear David. Yeah, need to fix the address, items, amounts, and then a payment link. And there we are. Okay, so if you stay with me, this might take a while. I'm going to recreate this live in the video, and stay along with me. So let me just get into my scenarios. I'll create a new scenario here. First thing we want to do is get a webhook. So custom webhook. Let's call this YouTube Stripe Invoice. Okay, we'll copy this. Okay, so if you're not familiar with Airtable automations, you need to have a paid membership. You can't do this on the free, or you can, but they're limited to 100. 1,000 over the lifetime of your contract. But if you upgrade, you get 25,000 per month in your allowance. So I'll just reproduce this one here, but explain what it is. So we have a trigger. The trigger is when a record matches a condition. So I'm taking the table of customer, the table called customer, and then the condition is when status turns to ready to build. I hope that's easy to get your head around. And then we will run a script. So this is basically how we ping make.com. So we get the let record /input. I'll paste this code into the description of the video, and then we're just going to replace the webhook here from the question mark, just before the question mark, with the webhook for our example build. I don't mind if people see this because I'm going to switch off the automation. There's no harm done. And then we also pass in the record, the variable record ID, which is the Airtable record. So if I click here, this is when the record matches the condition. So basically the customer field, we will pass record ID or Airtable ID. There we are. So if let's go to make.com now, click run. Let's do a test. Run test. Okay. So we're choosing item here. Okay, successful. So we just passed AA BR7. There we are, AA BR7. Okay, so great. Now we need to connect to our Airtable to get all of the information from Airtable. So let's get a record. And I'm going to select the right table, Stripe Invoice System. We will get the YouTube example, which is the name of everything. You can see here it's the name of my table. So YouTube example, customers, record ID is the record ID. Okay, perhaps we want to test this just to make sure. Great. 200 response, and we have now all of the information. So, yep, excellent. Okay, so next on my build is we also need to get some more records. So we need to get the invoice items themselves. So we're going to the same base, YouTube example, but I want to get the invoice items. And the record ID on this occasion is invoice items and the record number. So we can test this module now. And then invoice items, just so you can see. Okay. Okay, great. So now we have the invoice items. We have the price, the product image. We have the customer details, who that item is linked to. Next, we need to build a HTTP request. So I'm going to be a bit lazy and copy over from my previous example, but I'll run through everything as we go. Sorry, the page is loading on my secondary monitor. So these are our Stripe modules. Coming over, paste. Okay, quickly align. So what we need to do is create a connection. So I'm connected to my Stripe test account. If you're not familiar with this, there's some documentation at the top, but perhaps I can run through. You'll learn how to, you need to know how to do your own login, so I'm not going to go through it, but I'm doing a HTTP, an API call. So basically, if you go on Stripe, the module is make an API call. If you can see here, it says the bottom there. So I'll delete this one. And the endpoint I'm going to is V1 product. So I'm creating a product. I'm making a post request. And then this is the important bit in the headers. You need to do content type, content-type, capitalized. And then this is the really important bit, is you need to do application X www form URL encoded. Normally it's JSON, but on this occasion with this module you need to do it this way. And then from here no query strings, but this is the language you need to use URL encode. So we have passing through the invoice item from the get a record, which is from the invoice items page, and we're also getting the description from the items page. Next one, we need to create a price. So again, it's V1, but this time prices. Making a post request, same language, not JSON, application JSON, but URL encoded. And then the currency equals USD, amount equals unit price in cents. So if you remember from the Airtable, I have the formula to multiply this by 100, so price in cents. Okay, then, is there any more? Then from here, we need to create a payment link. So, payment link, we're still using the Stripe, make an API call. This time payment links, making a post request, content type, URL, XWW form URL encoded, and then the body is line items 0 price equals body item to body 5, that comes from here. And then quantity equals 1. We can actually change this to quantity equals quantity. There we are. So, shall we run a test? Let's test this module. And let's get an invoice item. We'll put item number 2, t-shirt, just to see what the output is. So green means it worked. We have a 200 code. The body, and then we've got all of this information here, basically product ID here. So let's run this module. Price in cents will do 1,550. Sorry, 15,500. We'll do ID equals from the previous module. Should get a green. Status code 200. Body. Again, now we've got the price ID. Okay, so let's run this module. Let's do quantity 1. ID equals this from the previous module. Green, which means success. And now we have all of this information here, which I don't need. The most important one here is, sorry, my cat's stirring in the background. Let's take a look. There we are, t-shirt, item 2, $155. Excellent. Okay, so now let's create an invoice. So what I need to do is get Google Slides, 2 O's, Google Slides. And what we're going to do is create a presentation from a template. Okay, the title will be invoice hashtag, and we're going to take the unique ID and do that. So that will be our invoice number, will be invoice number 1. The presentation I want to select from my Google Drive, so this is our Stripe build. And I have a template, which looks like this. So I've already built this out. Please forgive me for not showing you, but this will be another build video, I think. Stripe build. Okay, so I have a template which has some basics. So here we're going to pass through some placeholders. So we have invoice number, date, name, address, the item, the quantity, which can actually be changed to quantity now, QTY, the price, actually let's, for argument's sake, we'll keep this as 1 actually, because otherwise I'll need to do some calculations, and I just want to make this a quick build. You guys can run with it and take it as far as you like. Then the price, and then we have a payment button. So I will show you now. Below here, we have the word payment link. This is how we're able to create a button. So I'll just pop that back. So where were we? Right, I'll just press refresh. Invoice number. This should look familiar. Invoice no. Invoice no. So what we're going to put as our invoice number was the unique number, unique ID. The date, we're going to put today's date, which is available here as now, but it's not nice, it's not pleasant to read. So what we're going to do is format date. It helps if you spell it correctly. And if you're not familiar with this module, it looks like this. So I'm British, UK, Welsh. So I'm going to put date, month, year. If you're American or other parts of the world, you probably put month first, then the date, and then the year. Address, we want to pass through from here, which is address. Then we want to put the item, which comes from get a record, invoice item. The price is the item price, and then the name is the name here. Okay, and then for the location where the file will be stored, I'm going to put into Stripe build. I'm going to specify all sorts of acrobatics going on behind me. There we are. And I want to click on advanced, make this item shared, otherwise I won't be able to download later. Another Google Slides module now, and we're going to insert a link to the presentation. So we will work with the same presentation, so basically from this module here, and we want to replace the word replace from here, from our template. Okay. See the word payment link there? We're going to copy, go to make.com, put the words of payment link. I've copied it just to be on the safe side, and replace that with a clickable link. So the link comes from here, the make a payment link, and we're going to pass through the URL. So that will be underneath as a link. Okay. Should we run a test? Let's save it till the end. I'm confident this will work. So next module is Google Drive. Download a file. So this one here is my verified. I've had to make some apps inside of the Google console. Otherwise you'll have to keep verifying. I'll do this for another video, how to verify, but this is my verified account. File ID, I'm going to enter manually and take from the presentation we just created. And then I want to Google Slides, download as a PDF. Okay, all good so far. 2 more modules and then we're done. So the next one, I want to email the client. So I'm going to use my Microsoft account. I'm going to send an email. The subject is thank you for your purchase. Body content, so I'm just going to say hi. Hi David. Thank you for your purchase. Please find attached a copy of your invoice. Let's call it a PDF invoice. Payment instructions are included. All the best. Luminous AI. Okay, importance, not so important. Recipients, that is important. So the email address is going to email, and the name is going to name. And then we're going to attach the downloaded file. Okay, and then our final module is update a record. So I'm going to update a record, verify the connections one more time. YouTube example. Customer. The record ID is all the way down here. Record ID. What I want to do is add the attachment. So the file URL comes from here. We want to get the external links, external export links, and we want PDF. File name is the file name. And I'm also going to put the invoice URL. So this is the Stripe link. I just want to insert Stripe link into, just so we can chase it up. We can basically track the payment. So where is it? There we are, URL. Okay, so I'm going to save, put everything in line. Okay, fingers crossed everyone. So let's return here, make sure the automation is switched on. Nearly. So let's go back to our data. Let's select this invoice here, so TAF Mike. We're going to ready to bill. We can change that to send bill. Run once. Use existing data. So far so good. We have a URL. We have a document. We have success. So let's check our Airtable. Boom. Just to prove that was automated. There we are, just inserted 9 seconds ago. And let's check my email. Invoice number 2. Hi David. Hope you're well. Please find attached your invoice for cheap microphone. Let's open it up. Okay, the address is missing on this one, but if we click here, pay, and we're in test mode, my account. Great. If you watch my other video, so let me return to my screen. if you watch my previous video, I've done one where we can track a payment from Stripe and update. So I'll put a link to that video in the corner of the screen. So the combination of these two is you can just automate all of your payments, so ins and outs. It's great. So if you've enjoyed this video, I highly suggest you watch the second video, which is oddly came before this one. Yeah, if you've liked it, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, and I'll see you on the next build.